Neil, when you first created The Last of Us, did you ever imagine this becoming a TV series?
No, absolutely not. When I first pitched it at Naughty Dog, it was just a dream of like, oh man, I hope this gets enough excitement at the studio to make this game. And then as we're making it, year over year, it's like we have hundreds of artists and engineers and lots of other developers. I was sure the game was not going to do that well. I was like, I'm doing this thing and it's going to be in this uncompromising way because I love it so much. But once it's done, that'll be done and they'll let someone else direct. And then the game became very, very successful. We had a chance to do it again with Last of Us Part 2 and continue that story of Joel and Ellie and these characters that we care so much about. And then I remember that feeling of watching Chernobyl and just being disgusted with how good it was. And then even talking to my co-writer, Hallie Gross, who wrote the second game with me. And I'm like, wouldn't it be cool if The Last of Us looked like this and it was this grounded and treated with such care and love like this show is? And then a few weeks later, I got to meet this bozo. And then we made this really beautiful show that we're really proud of, and I completely stand behind. And it's been a completely surreal experience to be here right now talking to you.
This must be a match made in heaven with you two guys.
Oh, man. Yes. I mean, you kind of dream of working with somebody like Neil, who created source material, but also is not just smart enough, but secure enough to say, hey, when we move it from this medium to this medium, it's not like we have to change things, but there are opportunities that present themselves that you want to take advantage of. And I have been the beneficiary of his generosity there. He's just very, very smart about thinking about the show as its own thing. And I mean, sometimes I'm the one who's like, no, we can't. We have to do that exactly the way it was in the game. I know, I'm a fan. I want that the same. But I love making the show with Neil, and I love honoring the games that he made.
Yeah, it is fantastic. As you both know, many video game adaptations have failed big time to capture the essence of the source material. Why do you think that The Last of Us succeeded, where so many others failed?
Having gone down the road of, trying to adapt it before with a version that I don't think would have been nearly as successful, I realized the secret ingredient is finding someone that loves it as much as you do. And obviously, you got to be talented. You have to have the resources and the crew, and obviously HBO has thrown their entire support behind this show. But at the head of it, you need someone that truly, truly loves it. I think what happens often with a lot of adaptations, people come in and they kind of like the thing, or they think the thing is popular and they're going to leverage it, and they're like, "But let me come in and change a whole bunch of stuff," and they lose the essence of it. We are sometimes changing things, that's true, but it's because we're moving to a different medium. But the conversations we have are about how to honor the soul of it, the relationships, and then treat them the best we can and elevate them the best we can. Like, we have no ego in this. We're constantly looking at what are the best choices for the story? How do we cast the best people to act out the story? That's our approach.
The third episode in the first season generated a lot of attention, and it was a really, really a great episode. Which episode in season 2 do you think will create something like it?
Well, I will say one thing that Neil and I said early on as we were planning out this season was, hey, let's not fall into the trap of people loved that episode. Let's just do another one just like it, because that's not how that episode happened in the first place anyway. So we come at all of this to think, okay, what works best for this season? I will say that there are at least 2 episodes that come to mind that just because of what happens and because of the way the story is told within them, really pin you back against the wall. But that said, every episode has some moments in this. I think as we plan out the seasons of The Last of Us, each one is its own television show in a strange way. We call them season 1, season 2, but it's just a very different kind of presentation, and I'm so excited for people to see it.
I'm too. how do you think that producing the season 2 is different than when you made the first season?
Well,
Bigger.
It's
bigger.
It's bigger, not because we were like, hey, let's just make it bigger because that's what people like. It just needed to be. The good news was there was a lot of things that we had to figure out early on that we figured out. Questions of tone and direction. A lot of the cast has returned, of course, so we don't have to figure out how to make those relationships work. But the size, the scope, is just, well, it's been exhausting in the best way. Like, just I don't know. Sometimes I say it's like we set ourselves on fire for the show. We just work until there's nothing left of us, and it's big.
You feel the pressure.
I feel the pressure of wanting to make something great. That's the only pressure I ever feel. But that said, I think Neil and I are both now aware after season 1, a whole lot of people are watching. A whole lot of people. So maybe we should, not mess it up.
Yeah, the pressure is to not, in the making of it, not miss opportunities to make it the best version of it, to understand that we are given immense resources and talent to kind of play with and use those to the best way possible to just make an incredible show that from beginning to end, we work really hard to never make a boring moment. Like as Craig says, each episode is a high calorie count. There's a lot of stuff that happens on each one of those episodes.
Yeah, so since I'm from Denmark, I would like to know if you have considered any Danish actors.
Oh, of course. We consider actors from everywhere. And there are some incredible actors from Denmark. We've used we've used a director and a cinematographer from Denmark, 2 cinematographers from Denmark, in fact. I don't know. Denmark is not a large country, but the percentage of quality people there, it's impressive. So we've used a lot of crew from Denmark. Stay tuned. We have more seasons, and Denmark does have some incredible actors.
Call me if you need,
All
need some
right.
advice.
You got it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.